Yeah, this is what I was looking forward to seeing. Wow. No, I think I love about this is I will have just snapped it bang and never really seen it. Just being suddenly able to like revisit that moment like I couldn't have done in any other way. Not even watching a film of it. This is like super reality, you know. You can see every little bit of information. God, because there's sorts of stories going on here. There's like somebody telling this boy off or chatting with him or something. And there's the chimp man. What's that chimp thinking?
I think there was reports that about 7,000 people that had come out to greet you. And I think this is just a subset of those 7,000. It must have been overwhelming. I mean, still photographs, of course, are silent, but if they could convey sound, what would we be hearing?
I think, you know, screams, you can kind of see some of them, these beauty queens here. And I was asking, what are they wearing? What's the sash say? It normally says Oklahoma or it says Beatles. Yeah, I think, you know, there will be some screams, but not like an audience who are like full scream. There really is so much to see when it's been blown up to this size. I think that's like my favorite, actually, of all the pictures. But I just love her. I just think she's so cool, you know, because people sometimes would get a bit overwhelmed or would scream or would, get a bit. She's just got this coolest look on her face.
There's this incredible sense of calm. It's kind of in contrast to the footage I've seen of the fans basically throwing themselves against your car window. She's distant, she's got her own space, her self-possessed. And this room, I think, is also significant because there's a story about you waking up with a melody in your head.
This room?
Yes.
Yeah, and the piano in this room, yeah, that's true. I just had this song in my head and I woke up and I thought, what's that? Oh, I like that tune, what is it? That's a nice one. I thought it might be from my dad's era or something. So I kept asking people, what's this tune? You know, you must know it. So. And after about 2 weeks, nobody knowing it, I just decided it had to be mine, you know. And it was yesterday. So, and that's where it happened, yeah. It was great because, you know, we didn't really know how important Ed Sullivan was. We hadn't heard of him. So many American icons like Walter Winchell and stuff. You know, who's that? I don't know, we were young there, we were like 20 something.
Yeah.
By the time we got to America, I mean, that was the coolest thing, coming to America. But then when we went on this show, we didn't realize the significance, you know. It's just another TV show, we thought.
When did you realize the significance?
Probably after, really.
After 73 million people tuned in?
Well, that was the story. Yeah, there was the guys on the curtains, and I was to do a solo song. I wasn't feeling too bad. One of the guys sort of they were going to pull the curtains back. He said, "Are you nervous? You know, the Teamster." I said, "No, not really." He said, "You should be. 73 million people watching." And then pulled the curtains back and I'm left, let's go. But when I see the footage and stuff, we don't look nervous.
Not at all.
It was one of the fun things of knowing John, you know, that that I now remember. These are the kind of things you remember, the silly little things. You know, if we'd have an argument about something, oh, you shut, what are you talking about? And I'd get a bit hurt because he was being a bit sort of mean. And then he would take down his glasses and he'd say, it's only me. And he'd put them back. I don't know what that was supposed to convey, like the shield behind which, it's only me. But yeah, no, so it was a big thing with John, this the glasses thing. It's all these things you do, these mannerisms you don't know you have. I apparently have that. I just found myself doing it actually just before talking to you. Jimmy Fallon said to me, you know, he does an impression of me, he always does that. You don't know about these things, but yeah, I see now. Yeah. That was one of John's things. Yeah. Doing it up there. Oh, it was great. He was a great guy, and I'm so proud and happy to have known him, to have worked with him, and to have done all that stuff with him, you know. So it's a huge thing in my life. But I mean, I think for me, the main feeling is just remembering the joy. I suppose, you know, in life, people come and go. And if ever I have to write a note to someone, sort of say, yeah, but you know, you remember the great times you had together and stuff. And that's what these pictures do for me. And these days, you'd go the other way. You'd retouch out his pimples.
I think that's part of the charm.
This way, we're bringing them up. Sorry, George, you're still gorgeous. My little mate, yes. Met on the school bus. Can you imagine that? Yeah, you know, it seems kind of silly to say, but I've never seen this before. So literally, I'm in a car and I'm going into the hotel and I'm past this great looking crowd. So I'm just going to boom, bang.
It's such a classic shot.
What I like about it is it's just grabbed. You know, there's no great, and I think a lot of that was a bit the secret behind the Beatles, was that we didn't think things out too much. You know, we were very spontaneous, and I now realize how cool that is as a method for doing a lot of things. I mean, Allen Ginsberg, the poet, who I knew a little, used to say, first thought, best thought. He didn't always stick to it, but I think as a theory, it's a pretty cool theory.